What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the AM CMSV show. As always, I'm joined with my boy, Matty Ice, Matt Pincus, Matthew. We still haven't landed on one. I'd say probably by the end of the year we'll figure it out.
Honestly, anything you want to call me. It's fine.
This week we are joined by a special guest. Actually, a pretty historical guest. He's top 5 in the country in save percentage. Or in saves per game. Sorry, saves per game. Top 15 save percentage. The man, Sawyer Davis. Sawyer, thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. What's up?
My roommate, the kid, Sawyer.
We've been teasing this for a few episodes now, but we finally got it locked down. I guess we kind of have to thank the weather, even though we're going to get into that in a little bit. He's supposed to be at Yankees opening day, but they canceled that yesterday, so we get the man in studio. I know it kind of sucks that you're not at opening day, but you're with us, and there'll be baseball eventually.
We do have a Rangers game tonight to go to. Rangers Pens, baby.
So were you always going to do both? Were you always going to go Yankees and Rangers, like do double duty, or once the Yankee game got canceled, then you decided to go to a Ranger game?
Yeah, well, one of our friends who just got a job for FTNY, it was like his day off. We were trying to do something. Originally it was the Yankee game, but we still wanted to do something. I saw the Rangers were playing the Pens, so I was like,
semi-cheap tickets.
Get a chance to watch Sid the Kid in person. Yeah, it'll be all right. So we got a pretty busy show today, as usual. So we'll start with our interview with Sawyer. Mets opening day is today, so we'll get the premiere of the Mets Minute. The sports world is kind of fully buzzing. We're at the we got the Masters weekend, so we'll talk a little golf. It's not something I thought I would ever talk about. NBA's wrapping up, NHL's wrapping up, and then of course we got Matt's weekly Rangers rant, and as always we'll wrap up with the top 5. All right, so we'll just start with the interview for Sawyer, or the questions for Sawyer. First of all, do you consider yourself a psychopath for being a goalie?
I figured you were going to ask this question.
It was the first thing when we talked about this last week. I said it live. I was like, I think you're a psychopath because all goalies have to be psychopaths, especially in lacrosse.
I'm definitely an interesting person. All goalies are. I've been friends with plenty of them, but I mean, I technically did choose myself for wanting to be a goalie, but it starts how most goalies start. You go to a game, you don't have a goalie. When we're very young, who wants to be a goalie? I just decided to be that idiot to raise their hand, and just
never went back.
Never went from there. History from there.
Yeah. I mean, did you play hockey or anything growing up? Like, was there any? Or you just happened to raise your hand that one day, and all of a sudden, boom,
I never played hockey. Growing up, I always played football, lacrosse, and I wrestled. That's pretty much it.
Hell yeah, we got wrestlers.
Played a little soccer here and there.
Wrestlers in the building. Like when you were a kid, you played soccer, or like in high school?
When I was like very, very young.
Yeah, okay.
In high school, I didn't play football in high school. I only wrestled and played lacrosse.
You wrestled for all 4 years?
I did not wrestle my senior year.
Yeah, wrestling's a tough mother.
I regret that a lot.
But listen, Long Island wrestling's a different breed.
Yeah.
So what was your first attraction to like lacrosse? Why, obviously it's a little bit more popular in Long Island than it is up here, but like, were you playing as like a kid? How'd you get into lacrosse?
So lacrosse, I started playing when I was in kindergarten. Pretty much, it was like the new thing popping off, where in my area, and my dad just signed me up, and I liked it a lot. And then I just played every single year from there, and then once I probably got to like 4th, 5th grade, I started playing all year round, and then I just fell in love with the game. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel like year-long lacrosse is like a different grind. You're playing like 7-8 games a day at these long weekend tournaments. You're traveling. It's similar to hockey in a sense, where like, you're going to these you're traveling all the time. I'm sure most of your tournaments were, along the Northeast. They weren't all in your backyard. It's a lot of long weekends. So I guess, like, why don't you talk about your recruiting process a little bit and how you ended up at Mount St. Vincent?
So how I ended up at Mount St. Vincent is actually pretty interesting. I originally wasn't coming here. I was looking at a bunch of other schools, and then I was supposed to go to another school called Dominican. They offered me all this money. I was pretty much going there for free, And then once I actually was about to, like, do all my stuff, they kind of just were like, no thank you anymore, and decided not to give me the amount of money they promised me. So then I was like...
College is being shady. Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
But then I was just playing at a tournament or something, and one of the old coaches who was from here came out to me and asked me if I wanted to come look at the school. I came to the school. I thought it was like small, nice school, kind of what I was looking for most of the schools I was looking at, and it was just like the right place for me in my vision, considering money and everything. And they had lacrosse, so I was like, why not come here and play?
Also, real quick, just want to give a shout out to myself. Sawyer came for a nice overnight. Showed him how we do it here at CMSV. You know.
So you gave him the overnight?
Yeah, he was with us on the overnight. And then even his freshman year, you know, you're supposed to live in Spelman Hall. Sawyer was an alumni 24/7 every day.
Sleeping on your floor type thing?
Yeah. Well, Frank's floor, the kid we're going to the game with. Every night I'd go in there, late night, I'd be like, is anyone up? And I see Sawyer's head pop up from behind someone's bed. Hey, what's up? Oh, my God.
Love it. Yeah, one day when we're not recording, we'll have to talk about what people do for fun around here, because I really have no idea. I'm a commuter. I've been here maybe once after, like, class is over. It just doesn't – I don't have, like – the school doesn't give off, like, great time vibes, but, like – everyone who I talk to seems like they have like a pretty good time, like what you said. Like,
fun.
If you went for an overnight, like, and you decide to stay, like, that's has to be something here that's appealing about the school, other than just how close it is to the city.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, definitely.
Dorms get rowdy? Never mind. Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. So when did have you been starting here all your entire time here? Like, what was that process like? You know,
so, like,
I know you're the only goalie now, but were you always the only goalie?
No. All right. So my freshman year, one of my good friends actually, Christian Brody, aka Tuna. He was here. Tuna was very good, and then COVID obviously happened my freshman year. So we only had 3 games, so I didn't really get much playing time my freshman year at all. And then last year we had like the shortened season.
Right.
So I played the 5 games we had. That's pretty much it.
Well, at least you didn't have to burn an year of eligibility. So you went from that to, top 3 in saves per game in D3. Like, what happened? Was it you think you could have always played this way, or is it, you put in a lot of work and like you're seeing the results?
Yeah. Well, in this off season, I honestly did put a lot of work in, because I knew I had a lot of weight on my shoulders, being like the only goalie, and having to, like, I don't know. I just knew I was just gonna have to, like, I don't know how to explain it. Just like have a lot of weight on my shoulders and just be the guy for our defense.
What's worse, being the only goalie or being the backup goalie in practice and getting shot tricks up on you all day? What's worse?
Honestly, probably being the only goalie. I mean, because sometimes when you're in a game, it's tough when, like, you're starting to get frustrated and you know that, like, you have to stick in there and go. Say if your team's having a bad game, you gotta stick through it, and there's no time for you to relax. You just
got to do it all again in practice.
Yeah.
Like, do you just stay in the net the entire time in practice? Like, how you doing you condition, or like you kind of just coach is kind of easy on you now because he knows you're the only guy?
I mean, in practice I'm in the net most of the time, but we don't always like only do shooting and stuff. We always do other drills, do clears, and like all different kind of stuff. Yeah, but there are days like when we'll do shooting and then I'm in there the whole entire time.
Yeah. There are days when Sawyer gets out there on ground ball drills and really gets a couple hacks in on all the kids. That's always a fun day.
Hell yeah, these dudes are ripping shots at you all day. If I got a chance to lay someone out, whether it's legally, illegally, I'm giving you a little poke with the butt of the stick. Trust me, I'm letting that rip, especially on a bad day.
I definitely have my fun though. Yeah, I have my fun.
Have you ever scored a goal?
I have, when I was in middle school.
As a goalie, you scored a goal?
As a goalie, where it was like a little spring league, like for like youth lacrosse.
Just went coast to coast?
No, I like went over the midline, but if you know anything about lacrosse, some teams try to run this thing called a 10-man ride. So like they'll like
It's full court. It's like basically a full court press, right?
basically full court press, but the goalie comes out of the net. So then the net's open. It could either work or it's the weirdest thing in lacrosse. I don't know why teams do it.
It's either golden or horrible.
Yeah. So like the net was just wide open. I just went like this. Yeah.
From the
half
court
field, yeah.
or half field.
But I was extremely young.
Curry range. It was popping them.
That was the only time I've ever like scored a goal as a goalie.
How hard did you sell it? No.
From what I remember, I honestly have no clue.
All right, we gotta find that film. If you were to score a goal in college, how would you sell it? Because I know everyone who doesn't score, they all have something scripted out in their head. You know, linemen had it in football. Like, you know, you get a fat man touchdown, what you're gonna do? You know, you get a little more leeway before you get the penalty. The unsportsmanlike. What are you doing? You have anything?
If I score, I'm probably running to the bench and dead fishing.
I love that. Just do a fat belly flop right in the middle. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You guys got your first W the other day, huh?
Second
W. All right.
First conference win in a long time.
That's crazy.
years.
6 years.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, the game when it first started, I mean, we were a little shaky, but we were hanging in there. It was only 4-1 after the first quarter. We were losing 4-1, and then we started picking things up. Teams started coming together, and everybody started following the system, which we've been preaching on for the past 6 games. For everybody, you have to follow the system, and things will work. And started coming all along. And at halftime, what was the score at halftime? I think we were only down by like 2, maybe.
Right now, yeah, but we definitely came out flat in the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
I mean looks like it's a trend for us, but you know.
Listen, it happened. You're supposed to be home. You got to get on a bus. You got to do all your. No, you don't have your locker room. You got to do your routine somewhere else. So you're wearing the opposite color jerseys you normally would on a bus. Like it's a little bit reasonable, but it's just funny how when coaches say something and it actually works out, like you follow the system and it works. It's like eye opening.
Yeah, I've been preaching on it all year. I've been telling everybody you just got to follow the system, and if it doesn't work, then it's not on you. You know.
How often do you freak out?
I'm actually I've only freaked out a couple times, but I'm generally I try to stay as calm as possible. Because if I freak out, personally, I know how I am as a person.
It's a meltdown.
I get very emotional, so then I'll just like lose myself in my head. So that's very bad.
If you had one person on your team that's like you're getting one freak out a game, like if there's one person on your team that's gonna freak out, yeah, give me the odds. Like minus 200 for who? Who's gonna be?
I'm not throwing names out there.
No, me and Sawyer, we have to stay away from each other.
we do stay away from each other on the field. We have like.
You should go at it.
No, like not even like that. It's just
we
like
get the little like side comments. We're like 2 like girls on the field. Something will happen. Sawyer will be like, like Pincus, come on. I'll be like, Sawyer,
Sawyer, go.
Gotta handle. That's one of Sawyer's favorite things to say.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. You get an easy pass, someone drops the ball. All of a sudden, 20 yards down the field, all you hear is gotta handle.
Dude, especially if I'm the only goalie and like. A D guy gets his shoes taken off or gets fucking whatever you want to call it, yard sale. It's my favorite word in sports, by the way. You guys still use that yard sale?
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I played lacrosse one year and we were on the bench and I would just love to scream that every time. Like,
how much did that cost?
Little freshman that's never played lacrosse in his life. He's got the ball for the first time and a senior just fucking whacks the stick out of his hand. And everyone's just going nuts. Like my coach will look at me like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, but yeah, that's the only lacrosse lingo I know. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I were the only goalie and defense is getting cooked like that, I'd be losing my mind, especially taking shots off the shin.
His kneecaps are.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't understand like how you practice every day. Like you're getting a lot of saves, you're taking a lot of shit off the body. Like how do you even like wake up the next morning?
Shout out Courtney. The traders here are awesome. I mean, I generally go to them every day, get iced up. I'm usually I'm just so used to it at this point. I mean, obviously it still does hurt, but I'm usually generally pretty okay. But
you wear any secret padding? You got those girdles with those pads on the thighs, anything like that?
I just wear a cup and a chest protector.
Dude, God bless the cup. Cup check for real.
Shout out to the Cup 2 games ago.
I think
So we got a nice one.
I got a nice one.
Yeah, listen, cups are cups, but like you
Yeah,
get hit in the cup, you're still fucking having it. This is a brutal day. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I have the clip somewhere on my phone.
It's someone I'd probably, if I watched it, I get a stomach ache, and especially you watching it over and over again, I'd just be miserable. Let's talk a little about that purchase game, and then we'll move on.
Yeah. So after at halftime we were
4-2 at
it was
halftime.
4-2 at halftime. So we were down by 2. That's what I thought. When it came to the third quarter, it was like back and forth for a little bit, and then eventually in the fourth we tied it. They went up by 1 after a quick face-off. They had a fast break. They scored 1, and then they Then we tied it back up again, and at the end of the game, I made 2 saves at the end of bringing it into overtime.
Yeah, like 2 seconds left.
2 seconds.
Little golden goal action. That's how you guys won. Hell yeah!
And then in OT, we won the face-off. Coach called a timeout. We sadly turned the ball over the first time.
Yeah, I mean, we drew up a play. Ball missed the cage by literally. And then even, second play comes around. We weren't too ready for it. We turn it over. Thank God Purchase turns it over.
No, shout out Jake.
Yeah, Jake with a huge play. Shout out Jake Luxoro. Yeah. Little freshman, my island boy. Making a good play at, with 2 minutes left in overtime. We get the ball back. Comes down. One of our sophomores, Jacob Cochran. Love the kid. He's an absolute animal on the field. Yeah. Just basketball player. He's got that long strides. He just glides past people. Beautiful shot. Just put it right over the goalie's head to win it. And gave me a nice little headbutt after the game. I got a little excited, threw off the helmet. Got a little mark over here. Ran up to him.
You're ripping the helmet off after a regular season win?
Dude,
yeah.
I mean,
first conference win in how long since you've been here?
6 years.
That is absolutely crazy.
My coach, Fitz, played here 4 years ago. He graduated, and I came in freshman year. 2 years, I guess they didn't get conference win. So that was big for the program. Nice to have it for James Fitzgerald getting his first Skyline win as a coach. Congratulations.
In his first year, too.
His first year.
Yeah. You guys have a tough conference, huh? From what I heard about pre-show, Maritime's in the conference. What are they, like a top 10 team in the country?
They play a lot of the ranked teams.
They play a lot of the ranked teams. They're not. I don't think they're ranked top 10 in the country.
They're just different. They're just different breeds.
Yeah, they won Skyline 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
they're a very good coach team.
Yeah,
I know the coach personally. Was good friends with my high school coach. He's a very good guy. But they got their system and they run it.
Yeah,
all you really got to do. Catch and throw, and you're golden.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So if you had to, obviously we're keeping a little optimistic here, but you guys think how's the playoffs work? Not just Skyline playoffs. Everyone qualify. What do you need to do?
For Skyline, you have to win 3 conference games to make it into the playoffs.
Do you have 2 more games you think you got circled in that you think you could win?
Hopefully this Saturday we could possibly steal a win, and then I personally think we could beat Manhattanville. That's one I generally think we could win, and I'm just hoping for.
Being optimistic, just get a chance. You never know what happens. You get a chance, and
as long as we can run with them, anything can happen in lacrosse.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, you could have one game where we just go on a run, a little lucky run, and then they go on their run. And it might not be as long as our run, and then steal a win. It's just how lacrosse is. Lacrosse is such a fast game that, say, our defense is playing very good one game, we could cause a lot of turnovers and steal a couple goals in transition, and come up with some wins. But,
yeah, that's gonna be an interesting game. Yeah. Just to touch on that, Manhattanville. That's April 30th. That's gonna be our senior game. A couple things going on that day. Yeah. One of the old coaches that coached here about 6, 7, probably 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Just passed away, so we're giving a little memorial game for him. And this week, Saturday was supposed to be our senior game, but obviously rain, whatever, our field. So we're gonna be going up to Newburgh to go play Mount St. Mary. So in our white uniforms. So that's gonna be fun. But it's going to be interesting.
Getting to Newburgh from here, I mean, I'm sure you guys have obviously traveled a lot further, but it's just so like
it's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
we went to Massachusetts this year, so nothing really phases us.
Hour and a half is cookies.
True. How many overnights you guys do? You guys ever stay in a hotel?
No, we haven't stayed over. We haven't stayed over yet.
God,
hopefully.
I can imagine you guys just being little hooligans in a hotel, destroying them. Your coach throwing the tape on the door to make sure you guys aren't sneaking out, and so you guys are just jumping out windows and shit.
I really want to stay in a hotel in Newburgh. I'm pretty good.
No, I'm telling you, you don't want to be in a hotel in Newburgh. I promise you that it is not the best place.
Might not make it back home.
Exactly, and not for anything that you guys have done. Maybe your wheels will be gone off the bus. Yeah. Anything else like lacrosse related or anything?
Excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the end of the season turns out and see what we could do.
I'll have to try and swing by and make a game. Manhattanville is not too far from me. I really wish I knew about the Purchase one because I would have been there in a heartbeat. But
Manhattanville, we're home.
Yeah, it's here.
We're here.
That's even better.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know which one's closer to me. Either way,
Manhattanville is like
I'm gonna have to come to a game
down the street from Purchase. So
yeah. Purchase is like 10 minutes from my house. So. Okay. But I mean, this is I'm only 25 minutes from home right now.
Purchase is a very interesting campus. I'll tell you that.
They have really nice fields though. We used to play. We used to play a few high school games there. Because my high school field was worse than what you guys got down here. I promise it was a disaster. You know, we're going at least 2 ACLs a year on my field. Just like
that's why we can't even play on there. Like someone's just gonna get hurt.
Every time I go on there, I feel something.
But I feel like there's got to be like some like home field advantage for that. Like there's bounces that the other guys aren't expecting. You guys are like I know that there's no ground ball is safe here. Like, you're in it.
There is
going left like.
There is an advantage but like not really too much of anything because it's just like so bad. Like you try to like put your foot in the ground and like try to do something like dodge or something. You just the dirt's coming up with your feet.
It's more of a safety disadvantage than like a field advantage.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said earlier, this is the long-awaited day of opening day. I've been waiting for this day since the Mets got eliminated last year. We had the freaking lockout pushed us back. We talked about that with Dan a few weeks ago. Nothing will beat that. We were literally on lockout watch that day. Show ended with Dan. We were like, maybe we'll never get it. Literally 3 hours later, we had a deal. But we'll go over a little bit for the New York side of it. Yankees are supposed to play today at 1:00. See ya. Rain. Baseball is like a cruel. I don't know if everyone should be domed or not, but I'm just sick of rain. I just think I just want to see baseball. Like
Are there any dome stadiums?
Yeah, there's a few. They got one in Toronto.
I was about to say, do they have one?
Houston has one.
Marlins, do they have one?
I think, yeah, they are. Theirs might be retractable.
Yeah,
there's a few. Tampa, the worst stadium in all of sports. That place is a disaster. You got a few of them. Chase Field out in Arizona. It's more like honestly, they do it more for like heat than anything else. They don't care about rain. But
I think they should do it in New York though.
They should do it everywhere because then you don't have to worry about ever having games, and especially with all these new CBA doubleheader and mumbo jumbo garbage stuff. Let's just play the games. But
that's what a lot of colleges are doing these days for like football and like lacrosse too.
And listen, like especially all these colleges have so much money, dude. Yeah. Like everyone's paying like way too much money in tuition. And until we fix that, all these schools have like stupid money. Instead of paying like an associate athletic director for like field hockey $1.5 million, just put a field in. Give us a little dome, give us some nice practice facility, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, Cuse has a nice one. Syracuse, they have a beautiful dome.
Carrier.
Yeah.
It's an historic dome. It's crazy that they play their basketball games there too. That's
they play their basketball games there. I didn't even know that. They haven't been good at basketball in a while, but
that's Syracuse though. Every now and then, all of a sudden, they're in the Final Four. It's like they were a 13 seed. No one knows how to stop a zone, so that's what happens.
They broke St. Peter's zone.
God, that was such a fun little weekend a few weekends for St.
Coach
Peter's.
is gone, right?
Yeah, he went to
Seton Hall.
Hall. Literally, the newspaper hadn't even been printed yet about their loss here, and Seton Hall already leaked the deal. I felt bad for him and the kids because, like, obviously made a historic run, 15 seed going all the way to the Elite Eight, and then literally 10 minutes after they lose, like, the Twitter's going crazy about this guy going to Seton Hall. We all kind of knew what was happening, but even still, just like such a messed up situation. Yeah, exactly. Like, you give the kids some time to, feel bad about themselves. But back to the Mets. As always, Jacob deGrom is hurt. He's the best player in baseball, no doubt about it. And he's supposed to pitch opening day.
Debatable.
About what? Best pitcher in baseball? Don't even start with this Garrett Cole mumbo jumbo. I will end the show right now and walk out. Don't start with that. You know it.
He did win the whatever.
He's the best. There was 102 consistently. He's got like an ERA under 2 for the last 3 years. Can't get a win, but that's just because the Mets never give him run support. That's a different story. But on top of DeGrom getting hurt, they don't know what his deal is. Scherzer's also hurt. So we got Tyler McGill starting opening day today. If anyone outside the Mets knew who Tyler McGill was, they would just laugh because how is that your best starter you're putting out on day one? Scherzer's hopefully still supposed to pitch tomorrow. We'll see. The Mets are just a disaster.
Where are the Mets playing today?
They're in D.C. They were supposed to play at 1 o'clock, but the rain is apparently bad everywhere in the world right now. So they moved that game back to 7. I guess I'll do I think the Mets will win over 90 games this year. I don't know how much action I can put on that, but I think the like Vegas total is around like 92, 93 for them. So, the NL East is just stacked. But the Yankees are now the Mets with the Wilpons. So,
I honestly no clue what's going to happen this year.
They're gonna suck. They're gonna be the worst. They're gonna be.
I don't think they're going to be the worst team. I think they're going to be average and miss the playoffs.
Oh, they're definitely missing the playoffs.
But you never know.
Especially because they got to go to Toronto with the vaccine thing. Like, a lot of their players aren't going to be able to play. The Mets and Yankees were both going to have this issue in New York about not playing, the Kyrie rule. Little side
now they're
note.
good.
Just shows how little. Yeah, now they're good, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Just shows how little everyone in New York cares about the Nets because Kyrie Irving's a top 10 player in basketball. You couldn't play every home game, and then baseball is going to start, and it's like, oh, okay, now we'll fix the rule so they can play. Like, baseball's Mets and Yankees are king. And the Yankees got delayed too. I'm excited to see them lose this year. They're not good. It's just, the best part of being a Mets fan is like the Yankees nature that comes with it.
You could say this, but every single year I hear every Mets fan saying they're gonna win all these games, and it always ends up the Yankees somehow sneak into the playoffs in the wild card.
The difference is this year though is we got like a real owner. Like, we don't have like a little penny pinching Bernie Madoff God scheming out of all my money. Will Pond's up there. We got the richest owner in North America. He's got the biggest SEC fine in the record history. He's not really allowed to trade stocks anymore, I don't think. Dude's just like a grade A scumbag as a human being. Awesome baseball owner though.
I find it so weird in baseball because like there's no salary cap. Like the Yankees probably have like the most money out of like most of the teams.
They're like a top 10 franchise value in all of sports. But listen,
they don't buy anybody. Like
Hal is not his dad. He's not George. He's definitely more of a businessman than a winner.
Yeah.
And his dad's definitely pissed the hell off at him, rolling over in his grave and stuff. But listen, the Yankees are being cheap. Cashman's crying about the Astros still. Like, dude, that was 5 years ago. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I would have had more on the Mets minute if they had actually played a game or they were about to play a game. But
they were supposed to play yesterday?
They were supposed to play today in 27 minutes. But, rain, go away. Come again.
Hey, April showers.
Yeah, come in November or something. Like, I don't care about the rain right now. I'm sure in a few weeks when the Mets start losing and more people get hurt, I'll just ask for rain delays every day. But at this point, there's still eternal hope.
I think Toronto's going to win it all this year, to be honest. They have a very good stacked team.
Yeah, they're going to be really good. They're always – them and the Rays, like, it's crazy. You can never count the Rays. They don't spend any money, but they just have good guys. They have a good farm system, and they're good.
They have, like, pretty much the same team as last year, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Wander Franco is going to be he's gonna be a stud baseball player for the next 15, 20 years, and they locked him up. They paid him good. Rangers game, huh? Rangers game tonight. How we feeling? Before you get into the rant, I did see that they were putting out applications for E-Bug last night. Did you see that?
For what?
For the emergency backup goalie.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
They Rangers.
Backup
They
is,
posted it. They posted on like LinkedIn or something. Like, I mean, obviously, I'd say most hockey fans know the David Ayers story. The guy who won the game for Carolina.
Oh yeah, no, that was like a couple years ago. That was
right? Literally like 2 weeks before. Yeah, against Toronto. It makes it so much better. That was like the week before or 2 weeks before COVID shut down the NHL.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, but so listen, you want to be a hockey goalie, you might as well.
I don't know.
Send them this link and then be like, hey, like I can stop 100-mile-per-hour shots.
I'm a psychopath.
Well, exactly, dude. And I get way more pads. Like, you think I'm going to be scared of a hockey puck? No shot.
I mean, I did play box lacrosse for the longest time, which is pretty similar.
You got those pads, right?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing, but except for I'm on skates. I can't skate though.
You don't need to skate if you're a goalie.
I just sit there and eat it.
Exactly. Just sit there.
Alex Ovechkin right to my throat.
Just get hit with it.
You'll see tonight. You'll see the speed of it. If you can stop a Sid the Kid shot, you'll be in.
I think they should pull up my Long Island native Kincaid. Keith Kincaid.
Bring him in.
Igor? It's not over Igor. Over Gagorgiev. Gagorgiev's something else. Except for he locked down your Carolina Hurricanes.
Dude, I have a sore spot about that guy. He sucks every other game too. Like every now and then, when I see him start, I'll peep the stats and be like, oh, he gave up 7 goals tonight. Like, nope. Hurricanes fucking
45 saves.
Shoots a shutout.
If you want to get really mad, watch the highlights. We played Detroit last week. Watch those highlights. The first 2 goals.
Did he lose to Did he lose to Nedeljkovic?
No, we won in overtime.
We won in overtime.
The first 2 goals,
yeah.
Georgiev lets up. He's like sitting there like this. Guy's moving in the slot. Doesn't even move. Puck goes right between his knees, and he's just like.
Yeah, Rangers are playing Carolina next Tuesday.
That's gonna be a good game.
So yeah. I might be in the building. We're gonna find out, but even still, like I hope they get Igor. Or I hope they have to face Igor because I don't want to.
They definitely have to face Igor.
I don't want to face
Ottawa before that. That would probably be Georgiev's game.
Yeah.
And then that's at MSG, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's in the Garden.
Garden's
as much as I'd love to fly down to Carolina for a night just to come back, but nah. It's at the Garden. It's always nice when. Listen, when the Rangers are in Carolina, it's all Rangers fans anyway. Because the Rangers fans, I don't know if it's because they have like a little hive in North Carolina or they just travel everywhere well, but. They just shoot up and down 95.
Lot of people are moving down to Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I'm currently probably moving down there soon too. Everybody's moving out of it's a lot of Long Island and
out of that strong island.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to be in New York anymore?
No one wants to be in New York anymore, and it's so much cheaper.
Not me. I don't want to be there.
It's so much cheaper to live there. So much cheaper.
No rules.
No rules.
Wrap up this. Let's do this Ranger stuff. We'll get the top 5, and we'll get Sawyer out of here so we can go see Courtney. Shout out Courtney.
All right, so we have Islanders at the Garden. Nice 3-0 loss. I don't really know what to say about that. That's the Islanders are a good team, but they're far down in the standings. That should be a team the Rangers should handle. Rangers Flyers. Kevin Hayes, what a move in the shootout! Just absolutely. Puts Shesterkin on the floor, roofs the puck. Nothing to really say about that. And then, we have a good game against the Devils. Good bounce back. It's Kid Kreider. What is he on? 47 now?
You just beat Yager's record for most power play goals in a single season.
Oh, yeah. For the Rangers?
For the Rangers, yeah.
Yeah, he's
that dude right now.
Yeah. It's just so weird. He just randomly decided he wants to be a superstar in the league.
Next year, New York media is be pissed at him when he's not putting up 40 or he'll go back to he'll have 30 goals and the post.
They need to give him the C though. They need to name a captain.
Who's the C right now? No one.
We haven't had a captain.
Yeah, since McDonough. That was I don't even know how many years ago at this point.
Yeah. Didn't they trade McDonough?
Yeah, they traded him for what's his name? Marty St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We haven't had a captain since our last good cup run.
Shish.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, but now we're playing good, and you don't want to name a captain, and then you got to keep the superstition,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know, but good bounce back game against the Devils. Penguins tonight. I'm feeling
Give me a prediction.
Mika Zibanejad, 2 assists. Adam Fox, 2 assists.
Yuck.
What are you expecting here? Like a
Chris Kreider, hat trick. I want to see 50 while I'm in the building. I'm calling it. He's sending it tonight. And, Shesterkin, absolute great game. I'll say it's a 4-2 final score.
2 points in regulation. Love to see that.
I wouldn't be mad with some overtime.
I wouldn't be mad with some overtime.
I would probably be mad with some overtime hockey against the Penguins. They're right behind us.
Overtime hockey.
If the Rangers win today, they're in first.
There is nothing better than a little bit of overtime hockey, like the intent. Especially I love the 3v3.
I've never been to a game. I've never been to a game in overtime, so that would kind of be electric.
The best game I ever went to was I was thinking of the Game 7 Caps Canes, but I wasn't at that game. That was in DC. I was at Game 1 and 2 when they got smoked. That was a crazy series coming back and beating the Caps. Watching OV in person in playoffs was just a different type of energy. All right, we'll do our top 5 sporting events. We'll get out of here. I got a few. I guess we'll do the honorable mentions after. Number 5. I kind of tease this a little bit. It's Masters weekend. The only weekend I'll watch golf, especially when Tiger's back. Like super relevant. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I saw a clip on Instagram.
Yeah, he teed off about an hour and a half ago. I mean, listen, he'll probably miss the cut.
He was practicing, and there was thousands of people just watching him practice.
Yeah, yesterday's practice round. They were literally. It was like you would have guessed it was Sunday of Masters. He was coming down to win. Nope, just a practice run. See how his back feels.
Hopefully, no DUIs this weekend.
Yeah, that guy, Tiger.
Hey, he can hit a ball though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He can hit a golf ball. Listen,
his son's amazing at golf too. I've seen.
Oh yeah, he's gonna take over He's gonna be the next. I don't know. He'll be the next Tiger.
Yeah, he's insane. I've seen
his last name and his skill.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
We got a little Stanley Cup playoffs. Nothing like playoff hockey, in my opinion. Just one of the craziest times of the year. About to get into it. Hopefully the Rags can make a little push, and it'll be a good time for us.
The Rags. I really thought you were going to put this higher on the list. I'm surprised this wasn't number 2. But number 3, Final Four. They always play in a football stadium. You got 100 and God knows how many people, 1,000 people watching the game. You got the elevated court. It's the only college basketball basically I'll watch all year. You got some of the craziest games. This year there was no buzzer beaters, but I mean, it's probably recency bias, but that Duke UNC game was just absolutely incredible. Coach K's career getting ended like that.
Love to see it.
Well, I love to see it. Poor guy.
He had enough championships.
His time is over.
Yeah.
My hot take is that he's gonna come back at some point. He's the biggest egocentric maniac in the world.
I think he might go coach in the NBA possibly.
Yeah, no one's gonna respect him in the NBA. Maybe he'll coach the Lakers because the Lakers are eliminated from the playoffs, which is.
You think he'll be another Urban Meyer?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, Urban's a wild card.
That was the most random coaching choice I think an NFL team could have ever taken.
The stories that came out about him after being like, who's that 99 guy? Just Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in football. Yeah, who's that guy? Who's that guy? My sister knows who that guy is. All right, number 2.
Number 2, this is why the Stanley Cup playoffs is at number 4. Had to throw in the World Cup. Just the greatest sporting event, in my opinion, in the world. The amount of people that watch the World Cup final is like billions. Oh, the Super Bowl is huge. I'm an American, so yeah, I know the Super Bowl is big, but the World Cup, the final brings in at least 3, maybe 4 billion people watching it all around the world. No matter who's in it.
Billion with a B?
Matter.
You think billion with a B?
I'm not one of that billion.
Yeah, me either. Maybe I'll watch the gold. What do they call it? The gold medal match, whatever. But yeah, listen, Super Bowl didn't even make our list.
Super Bowl's overrated these days.
It's just right now. It's just only the rich people can get in. It's very businessy and proper-y, and maybe it'll be different if my team gets there ever, but I don't think the Jets are making it anytime soon.
I as a Giants fan, I think the Jets will be pretty good this year. Personally,
They, to me, in my mind, they get the Mets treatment where Jets fans are always like, oh, they're going to be good, and they'll lose 13 games. My personal number one is the home run derby. I just love watching people hit dingers. Like, it's really simple. Like, it's very laid back. Last year was at Coors Field. The ball was flying, obviously, up in Denver. But yeah, I mean, you just watch people hit dingers. Like, you'll see anywhere between 500, 600 home runs a day. Very laid back. You get people get all the little kids running around the outfield that are risking their life to get a ball. These balls are going to hit 115 off the bat, line drive. Some of them right at this little 7-year-old girl with a big glove. It's probably not the safest thing, but I mean, who doesn't?
Wait, don't they wear helmets?
I'm pretty sure
Even
they
if
do.
they wear helmets,
Yeah, I mean, even still, you're covering a little bit. It's like being a lacrosse goalie. You got no protection. You're getting rockets at you. I mean, you just, like I said, who doesn't love watching the dingers? And Pete Alonso won last year, which is always kind of cool to have a Mets guy win it. Wrap up right now. Got a few honorable mentions. Like I said, the Super Bowl, and then I've never been to a NASCAR event. But I heard those things are absolutely 72-hour parties. I've heard stories about them. They must be incredible.
My dad, I think, has been to a couple cities.
Everyone who I've ever heard has been to one loves it. They say they're incredible. I mean, just like people love watching dingers, people love watching cars drive fast.
What is the big one? What is the huge one? Is it the Daytona 500?
I think the Daytona is the big one.
Was that the one in
Talladega Nights?
Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and as much as people hate watching car crashes, the car crashes, they're pretty exciting to watch.
As long as everyone's okay.
Exactly. As long as everyone walks out alive, it's a cool thing.
Those cars are meant to be crashed, though.
It's just crazy. On TV, you don't really do justice, but every now and then you'll see a clip on Instagram of what it looks like from the stands, and zoom, zoom, and it's just that sound over and over again. You must be. I'm sure it gets boring after lap 75, but then you're coming down to the last 2-3 laps and everyone's locked in. You got everyone so goddamn drunk that they don't even know what numbers or what.
Those people don't get bored. Their hands are moving.
Yeah, and listen, they should say it's a party in the infield. You just have fun. So I'll throw in that.
And a lot of people that's a lot of people gamble and stuff. So
hell yeah, gambling's made everything so much more fun. That's a different story. That's
and
a
then,
different story.
Last honorable mention, we got the European Championship. Just always got to give soccer a little bit of representation.
You love soccer.
Not even the dunk. I feel like the dunk contest is pretty cool.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That's a big man.
I feel like anybody who I don't even watch basketball.
Yeah, but the dunk contest the last few years has been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
the Aaron Gordon
one was
that was the best one, and we'll never see it
I've
again.
ever watched.
Yeah, I mean, the days of Jordan doing it are way gone. Obviously LeBron's washed now, but if we had LeBron and all these John Morant, all these young actual superstars doing it, it'd be awesome. But
they have a bunch of randos doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Obi Toppin. I love Obi, but 914 baby, but ain't no stopping Obi Toppin. He's not moving the needle for the slam dunk contest. That was a good one. That was a big miss by us. And we could just put NBA All-Star Weekend in there. Watching people swish threes all day is also pretty sweet.
Love the celeb game too. That's always funny to see.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a celeb softball game than a celeb basketball game because
you don't want to see Quavo break someone's ankles.
Yeah, but
Travis Scott.
Yeah, but I feel in basketball, if there are definitely athletes who are just really good at basketball and they could just take over the game. But instead in softball, I get to watch Jenny Finch strike out freaking Kevin James, Paul Blart, all these people. I know it's the same guy.
I love that movie.
Yeah, the NHL needs to figure out their All-Star weekend. It's atrocious.
Yeah, and
you really can't get celebrity keep going.
No.
It would be really funny to watch people skate all over and falling.
That would be funny, but I'm just talking about the way they do it and everything. I mean, the game. Some of the games are pretty cool, the fastest shot and the what do they do? The
skills competition.
Skills competitions.
The shootout is really cool.
The shootout's cool, but then other than that, the game's kind of boring to watch.
Yeah, I mean, all All-Star games are kind of boring. The Pro Bowl, the NFL All-Star stuff is atrocious. Tyreek Hill lost in a 40-yard dash race. Come on, he's the fastest guy in the NFL. Probably no show next week because we're off for Easter break. maybe we'll Matt and I will talk if our schedules are open. Maybe we'll try and hop in here for a little half hour on Wednesday. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll let you know. But just assume we're not gonna have an episode, and if we do, it's a bonus episode. You guys all win. Sawyer, thanks for coming on. Matt,
No problem.
as always, we'll
Thanks
see you
for
next
having me.
weekend. Thank you for
Also-
listening to the. Oh, go.
You better hit that subscribe button.
Oh yeah.
Hit the notification
Like the
bell, all
video.
that stuff.
Like the video. I'm like a nice little YouTuber. Like the video. Yeah, thanks for listening to the AM CMSV show. We'll maybe see you guys next week. Peace.